Hello, beloved of the Lord. It is March 23rd, 2018. I've been spending a few days delving into the meaning of the horse dream. That dream was so profound that I knew I had to press in and seek the Lord as to what He was trying to show me through that. So it's more than a suffering horse being put out of its misery. All right, so if you did not hear that dream, you might want to go back to the Kindness and Severity of the Lord video, Dream Suffering About to End. At minute 12:40, I begin to recount what was in the dream. So, yes, if you haven't seen it, that might help make more sense of this. All right, so I want to share what I believe the Lord has given me concerning that dream. And it turned into so much and became so detailed and broad that I really had a hard time bringing it back down to the basics and so that I could communicate it clearly. So this is my effort, and hopefully it will make sense. All right, so the main aspects of the dream that I felt I needed clarity on were: one, the horse that was skinned alive; two, the horse's neck being broken; and three, the sense that what was taking place was absolutely necessary. We'll just run over that. I was on a ranch. The rancher took me out to see his horse that had been skinned alive. The horse loved the rancher. His face and his eyes were pure, trusting and accepting. The face of the horse. I could see by the way the rancher interacted with the horse that he loved the horse. But I had a sense that the rancher needed to provide for his children. And so this was absolutely necessary. The rancher was a very kind man. And it required tremendous pressure to bring this process to an end. So tremendous pressure was brought to bear. And I'll just tell you at this point, that makes me feel like the pressure in labor, in childbirth, like this incredible pressure bearing down. That's what it makes me think of. I'm just throwing that in there. All right. So, as I was seeking the Lord on this, I began to get some revelation. So with regards to the horse that was skinned alive, I got circumcision. And with regards to the horse's neck being broken, I got stiff-necked. So then I began to do some research. And so I did a word study on circumcised, stiff-necked, neck, horse, everything associated with this dream and the symbols of the dream. At this point, I want to suggest a YouTube channel that is excellent, absolutely excellent in demonstrating and teaching how to do a word study. A biblical, I would call it a prophetic biblical word study. The channel is Diana Olivieri on YouTube. I will put a link in the description box for her channel. She has a number, like a lot of excellent word studies that were led by the Lord, but she is extremely good at explaining the process she went through and teaching the viewer how to do their own word studies. So if you're interested in doing that, I recommend that channel. Excellent channel. All right. So I was doing word studies. Now, when I looked up circumcision, something very interesting came up. The root words for circumcision involve a word that means to cut off, as in the foreskin. But the other root word has to do with herbage, plants, grain being cut off or harvested. Now, why would the word circumcision, referring to cutting off the foreskin, also have a root that refers to the harvest? Just putting that out there. All right. So, and then for stiff-necked, I was just pondering stiff-necked. So when I thought of stiff-necked, I thought of a donkey. So I want to clarify, this process I did not get, well, other than circumcision and stiff-necked. This was a thought process, but I believe that it was being led by the Holy Spirit, by wisdom. And so this was a cooperative effort. So I would get a word, then I would look it up. I would look into the meanings and the Bible, the references, the verses in the Bible that contain those words, etc. So I was doing research, but as I was doing research, I felt that wisdom was bringing things to my attention. So I didn't get a direct word from the Lord saying, this is what the dream means. It was these were impressions, revelations. So I believe the Lord has given me the meaning of the dream, and I'm going to share that with you, but I'm saying that it's very important that you go to the Lord yourself and ask for confirmation. And you take everything, we must take everything that people say with a grain of salt, meaning that we need the Lord to clarify, confirm, and yes, it needs to be a direct thing between us and the Lord. All right, so having said that, I will carry on. All right, so I am reading off my notes, so if you see me looking down,